Donald Trump and Elon Musk have been on a legendary firing spree over the past couple of days, and I haven't even been able to keep up. Sure, most people are seeing the headlines of the Biden, all him terminating all Biden appointed attorneys, which I think is smart. Now you got to find the ones that are like secret double and triple agents or whatever, but you get rid of all of them. And that's just the start of the firings that have been happening. And the media is absolutely losing their mind. They're trying to cause all this panic. Remember when, here's the best example in modern history that most people will remember, okay? Remember when Elon bought Twitter or X for whatever, billions and billions of dollars, right? The first thing he did was fire like 80% of the staff. And there was like 2 days where there were a few hiccups. And ever since then, X has been pretty much fine. In fact, X has continued to add new features and all sorts of stuff like that. So I don't really know what people are upset about. But by the way, we're working now to make all of our coffee brand coffee available on Amazon, and I need your help. If you go to Amazon and you type in right now, blueberry coffee, okay, you'll have to scroll down a little bit, but you will find coffee brand coffees, blueberry coffee on here. Maybe we'll be, here's our K-Cups. You can now get our K-Cups on their Prime, meaning you can get our stuff same day, overnight, 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. That's how quickly you can get coffee brand coffee now. Now it's like $2 more on Amazon, but you're not paying for shipping. So it's a huge win. And then if you scroll down more, I think it's probably on the second page, you'll find our ground and whole bean coffee. Here it is. So blueberry coffee, find it, click it. And then I desperately need, if you really like our coffee, right? I need you to leave, click it, score some, and pick up and leave if we've earned it, please leave a 5-star review. Reviews are everything on Amazon. And I really, really, really hoping that, because I already know you guys love our blueberry cobbler, so I'm starting with that. So if you can, please just type blueberry coffee or blueberry K-Cup and you'll find it. You may have to scroll a little bit. Pick it up today. Get it delivered tomorrow. Coffee brand coffee is next day shipping for free. Okay, so help us get launched there. And if it's successful at the blueberry, everything will be there by the end of the month. Trump orders the firing of all Biden-era top prosecutors to restore confidence in the DOJ. Donald Trump ordered every single Biden-era U.S. attorney to be fired in an attempt to restore confidence at the Department of Justice. The surprise announcement came yesterday night after thousands of federal workers had already faced layoffs under the president's effort to cut back on wasting taxpayer money. Even like the woke lefties, okay, they agree with this. Everybody agrees with this, all right? Over the past 4 years, the Department of Justice has been politicizing like never before. Therefore, I have instructed the termination of all remaining Biden-era U.S. attorneys, Trump wrote on his Truth Social account. He demanded that we must clean house immediately and restore confidence in America's golden age, must have a fair justice system. That begins today. Trump's declaration comes as Attorney General Pam Bondi continues her shakeup of the DOJ. We know that the Department of Justice was weaponized, right? It was weaponized against the American people, and not just the American people when we talk about J6, but Donald Trump himself. There's literally no question about it, right? He demanded we must clean house immediately and restore confidence. Trump's declaration comes as Attorney General Pam Bondi starts. Bondi has been tasked with making more Americans trust the United States justice system. This includes an ongoing overhaul of the DOJ that Trump claims will end weaponization against Americans and prosecutions against political rivals. This is something that undoubtedly, undeniably happened to Donald Trump. There's no question it. No question. Trump believes the trust will begin returning to DOJ once the top prosecutors who were appointed by the former president are fired from their posts. Well, Letitia James would be good to go too. And by the way, get to the judges too, these corrupt judges in D.C. that gave Americans, 5 years in federal prison for trespassing. Again, there were a few people that got a little out of control, but most of the people that were sentenced for J6 were given ridiculously tough penalties to send a message that was politically motivated, that was these men and women were sentenced as a cudgel against Donald Trump. They were not given sentences that were fair, that were reasonable, okay? Some U.S. attorneys were already forced to vacate the position after Trump got back in the Oval Office last month. For example, Tara K. McGrath was appointed by Biden and served as the U.S. Attorney of Southern District of California in 2023. Last week, she was notified by the White House that she's fired. The administration extended their gratitude for her service. Some others fled their jobs before Trump had a chance to fire them. Like we saw a lot of those losers like Jack Smith. Former U.S. Attorney District Court Matthew Graves, also Biden appointee, resigned on January 16th. Jill Steinberg, who was a U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of Georgia, also quit. Trump vowed an overhaul to the Justice Department and has started with getting Pam Bondi confirmed as AG. This week, Senate is voting on the confirmation of Trump's FBI director, Kash Patel, who has also vowed to bring big changes to the DOJ, within the DOJ. I mean, this is excellent. Again, I am sure that there are great people inside the FBI that protect Americans, and there's probably people in the FBI that are completely apolitical, that literally don't care. They don't give two rips about what's going on in terms of that day's politics. And if they get caught up in the firings, that's going to suck. But the reality is, I don't know how else you do this. Trump administration fires thousands for performance reasons without evidence in a messy rush. This is how the media is portraying this. The first message from her manager on Saturday afternoon misspelled her own name. The second mentioned the news about probationary federal workers and how the Trump administration planned to fire them. When Downey called her boss at a Michigan branch of the U.S. Forest Service for an explanation, she learned she was on a firing list. She would have to come into the office to sign a letter formalizing the termination, and that she had to do so before the holiday weekend was over. I'm glad that our agency had at least decided we can do it in person, the manager said. According to a recording Downey provided the Washington Post, so we can add a little human touch to what's going on. Now, again, from what I can tell, these people are getting 8 months paid severance. And I think if they are one of the good ones, okay, they should be able to apply and get their job back. That's one thing the news really isn't covering. A lot of times you have these big layoffs and these big shakeups at this company. I learned early, and it was one of the biggest reasons I left the private sector, because it was just so scarring for me. We had to do a major layoff. And my CEO, who was a great leader, Jeff, he was a great leader. When I had to go through my department, I was in charge of about 50 people at 24 years old. Almost every one of them was older than me. And he gave me great business advice. And he said, when you have to do this, you cut once and you cut deep. And I've seen a million examples of how he was right. There are lots of companies, our own government, who are doing, layoffs 1 week, then some more layoffs the next week, then some more layoffs a week after that, then some more layoffs 2 months later. We see this with like the loser leaders at BuzzFeed and news agencies. The reason you don't do that is because everyone that's still working there always has 50% of their mind looking for another job, wondering if they're going to get fired. So if you overcut, okay, you can at least bring some of those people back, but you tell your staff, look, we're not doing any more layoffs, for the rest of this year, unless anything crazy changes. We cut once, we cut deep. Let's get back to work. Let's get this ship righted so we can bring back some of the good people that maybe got caught And I did do that. I rehired several of the people that I laid off in probably within the next 6 months. Um, Now, the firings targeted new hires on production, on probation, who have fewer protections than permanent employees. Now, make no mistake, the permanent employees will be fired. Um, so, critics warned of swift consequences as the administration raced to execute the vision Trump and billionaire Elon Musk have touted for a leaner, more reshaped government. Everybody wants this, by the way. And Trump's a billionaire too, by the way, just saying. The Trump administration will not disclose how many workers it cut since last week ahead of the Tuesday deadline, but the government employed more than 200,000 probationary workers last year. The firings can extend to touch employees at almost every agency, including map makers, archaeologists, cancer researchers, the Post found. Again, why does a government have map makers on staff or cancer researchers or archaeologists? These are all private sector things. This is one of the things that the media is really trying. Like, again, if you're an archaeologist, you just have some sort of gig with the government. I don't have any beef with you. And as a human, I understand your situation sucks right now, but the government shouldn't have been paying you anyway. If you're a cancer research, I mean, what does everybody donate, billions of dollars to St. Jude every year for? Aren't they supposed to be doing cancer research? How about these pharmaceutical companies who are the ones that actually stand to profit from cancer research or the lack of? Why aren't they paying for it? There's no reason the government should have 200,000 employees. They probably hired more than that. But the media is like, Trump administration fires 1,000 workers at National Park Service, raises maintenance. I mean, the end of the day, you cut once, you cut deep, and there may be a situation where, yeah, you cut too deep and you got to bring somebody back. But trust me, as somebody who has led a team before, who has worked in the private sector, I've seen it done the wrong way. I've seen it done the right way. This is the way a true leader does it. By the way, these people are getting 8 months severance, even if they're probationary employees, from what I understand, which is bonkers. Trump also, and the administration also fires immigration judges. In addition to the 18 fired on Friday, the Trump administration has fired 2 immigration judges this week. A union official said, "She gone." What do you need immigration judges for? If you're here illegally, go home. We don't need a judge for that. You're not a citizen here. You don't get due process. All right? You're here illegally, you go home. The Trump bloodbath continues, and I am absolutely positively here for it. And the media meltdown, trying to say, this article here, Trump revokes FEMA. Look at this one, is the most hilarious headline. And I know this video is getting kind of long. Don't forget, after the video, go to Amazon.com site, search up blueberry coffee or blueberry K-Cups, scroll till you find our product, give it a buy. You're going to have it like tomorrow. And when you buy it, please, especially if you've already have it, if you've already had it and you like it, leave that 5-star review. I'd really, really appreciate it. Trump revokes $80 million in FEMA grants from New York City, fires top 4 officials. Good. They were using it to house illegals. What are you talking about? They're trying to say, oh, FEMA doesn't have any money now for disaster care. Well, they didn't use it when they had it on the hurricane victims. They're not using it in California. They're asking for more money for that. So I'm 100% behind all of this. Keep it up. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you leave a like on it. If you haven't yet, please subscribe or follow down below, and we'll talk to you again real soon.